Hello, everyone. Welcome to the brand new Strength Unscripted podcast. As you folks know, we have been talking with athletes for years, and we figured it was time to give them their own specific podcast, independent of the Sup Talk platform. I am excited today. We have two beautiful and talented women. The first person you might recognize, this is her fourth time on the show. 3 times as a guest. Tonight, she's joining me as a co-host, and I'm excited. She is going to hit it out of the park. As always, let's welcome back Kathy Vaughn. Kathy, hello, hello.
Hello, beautiful people. Hello, Sean. Hello, Vanya.
Hi.
And in saying that, I'm going to give the platform to Kathy to introduce our guest of honor.
I'm honored to do so. So, please excuse me if I look down because I am reading and I just want to make sure that I get this right. So, joining us today is a true standout in the world of competitive bodybuilding, an athlete whose presence on stage commands attention and whose dedication behind the scenes is second to none. She is an IFBB Pro, a celebrated Olympian, and the reigning 2025 Bikini International champion. In 2024, she made waves across the pond by capturing the title at the Bikini International UK. And she also claimed victory as the Olympia Brazil Bikini champion, a performance that lit the stage and the bodybuilding industry. But her influence doesn't stop at competition. She's also an elite prep coach and posing coach, helping athletes elevate their game with the same precision and polish that defines her own career. Whether she's stepping on stage or guiding others to greatness, she is a force of excellence, empowerment, and undeniable impact. Please help us welcome the phenomenal Vanya Auguste.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much. Hi, guys.
Now you know why she's my co-host tonight. She's
Yes. I think I might be crying. It's not allergies anymore.
Don't cry, Queen. Don't cry.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So, Kathy, start us off. I know you had a question. We'll kind of go back and forth here.
So, Vanya, you made history as the first Haitian American woman to be crowned Miss Bikini International. What did that moment mean to you personally and culturally?
Ooh, it meant everything to me. When it happened, when I said it out loud and I said it in the interview, I remember walking off stage and I was talking to Laura Lee and I said, I just said that on national TV that I'm the first African American to win the show. And I just kept saying it over and over, like what just happened? Because I wasn't planning on saying that. It just came out. I didn't have a speech. My whole speech was just like in that moment. It just came out. But 2 weeks later, the more comments I've received from everybody, the culture, not even just the culture, like everybody else, how much I touch everyone, that it just made me feel like I actually made an impact on the whole world, not just the bodybuilding world. I showed tons of people that it can be done. You know, it might take years for it to happen. If you have the patience for it and you really love what you're doing, just keep pushing. Anything is possible. And someone else told me that there's so many people that have tried to get to that level or tried to make that dream come true. And God picked me to be that leader.
Yeah.
And when she said that, it just put me in a different way. Like I've prayed about this and for it to happen, like I was picked for this. Yeah.
I love it. Vanya, if it's okay, I want to go ahead and post the video here just to show people. I mean, it's emotional. We talked about it off air here, but I want to go ahead and show it and then maybe just walk us through at the end here. Like, what are you feeling? What's going through your mind here?
But this is even bigger than that, because a lot of the time in bikini, you don't necessarily see Black women in that top spot. So she is one of the first, if not the first, at a big show to take that top spot. So she is representing for a larger purpose that is very important in this sport.
Absolutely. That's a good point. I never really thought about that in bikini.
Okay, I don't embarrass you too much here, but like, did it dawn on you that they called your name, that you were the winner? Was it kind of out of body experience? Like, what was that like?
It was an out of body experience. It was also the same feeling I had in UK. I think I'm so used to getting second place, or I'm always in the mix. I'm always top 5, top 3 in the mix. When I won UK, it was the same feeling when it was between me and the runner up. I made peace with myself at that moment. Like, if I got second place, it's okay. I'll just keep going. And then I won UK. And then the Arnold, it was the same thing. During prejudging, it was just I knew that I was in the top 3. And then for final, when they call Ashlyn for third, I said, okay, so I'm definitely in the top 2. In my head, I am already happy because I've accomplished something that I wanted. I wanted to move up. Last year, I got third. This year, I know for sure I'm in the top 2. So I've accomplished that. So in that moment, I accepted it. I said, if they call me for second place, that's okay. I'm just going to keep going, because I have a goal. I want to be the first African American to win it. I'll come back next year and do it all over again. So when they call the runner up, I paused for a second. Like, did they just call Amy, not me? Like, they call Amy. And the whole time, like, what am I going to say? I did not write.
Oh. Vanya, we lost you.
Okay. We got
you back. Good.
Yeah.
So they called you your first Black individual to win. I'm sorry, please continue.
Yeah. So when they call second place, I'm on the side freaking out because I'm like, okay, this is really happening. Like, I am the winner. But when the expediter, the MC actually announce it, and your new Miss Bikini International Arnold Classic winner is Vanya Auguste, that's when I felt it. Like, I really did that. I pray about this. I pray about it with my client, I spoke about it with my client. We manifest this thing, and it is happening at that moment. I still can't believe it. I believe it now, but whew, what a moment.
How long did it take for it to soak in? I actually I did it. I won.
3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took a while. Every morning I will wake up, I will look at pictures on Instagram on my phone. Like, did this really happen? And I'll go, my trophy is in my living room. I'll go in the living room and touch the trophy. Like, okay, this is real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every morning I did that for 2 weeks. And then the 3rd week, I just went back and I looked at everything and just thought about the process of bodybuilding, how long I've been doing this, the amount of time that I wanted to give up, I didn't give up, and the time where I knew how much potential I got, and I just kept going, kept pushing, and it really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it took me a while to believe it, but I did it.
You did it.
Was that the moment when you said you finally arrived, or was it one of your other wins, whether it's the UK or some of the previous contests you did?
It was the UK.
Okay.
It was the UK. Yeah, it was the UK. Also the Arnold, because the year before I placed 3rd. It was my first Arnold. And going to that show, I just wanted to be first call out. I didn't really have any type high expectation beside being in the first call out. And I got third place. From there on, it was just like, okay, I can do this. And then I won UK, placed higher at the Olympia top 5. Then I went to Brazil to win Mr. Olympia in Brazil. So, yeah.
Is the like in the men's you have to, it's a special invite. Is the female side special invite as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They only invite 10 to 12 athletes.
Go ahead, Kathy. I know you're chomping here.
I'm just so when you received your very first invitation, how did that feel?
Oh my God. It felt like, again, another dream that just came true. Like, I don't know if you saw the video of me on Instagram. I kept it up there, pinned it. But I was at the gym working out, and I know it was the day that they were going to announce it, so I kind of stayed off Instagram. And I was just like, if somebody tagged me, then I know it's happening. And I was just working out, and then somebody just started tagging, like someone tagged me, and then the tag started happening even more. I'm like, oh, I think I made it. And I just opened Instagram. I screamed. I was in the gym, middle of the gym. I just started screaming, and then all of a sudden, I started crying. Like something just came over me. Like I just couldn't contain myself, and I was just crying. And I was like, okay, get it together. You going to the Arnold? We got work to do. Yeah.
Vanya, I can say one thing that I just like really admire since I've started following your career is just how consistent you are with improvements. Like even from, I'll never forget when I first saw you, because I'm still, I guess I'd say I'm still kind of like new to bodybuilding in a sense. Like there are some like athletes who've been in it for like 10 years and and this will be my 4th year, and this will be like my 1st year as a pro. So when I first started following you, I was like really new to bodybuilding, and you had won Nashville. You had on a purple bikini, and I remember you were just like twirling on that stage, and I was like, oh, I was like mesmerized, like everything. I was like your physique, your confidence, your posing, your bikini, everything in that moment on that stage. It was so mesmerizing, and I've been following you since. And even then, it was just like, wow, like she's freaking amazing. And then looking at you today, like you were amazing then and you're amazing now. But just to see like how much you have improved, like physically, like you're physically, aesthetically, and then as I'm getting to know you as a person, and then just seeing how like even as you improve, you stay humble, you know what I mean? And even in the win, like you're Vanya first, then Olympian and IFBB Pro and everything. And I think that's one reason why you have like the fan club that you do, is because you're like so authentic, but then it's like we can like relate to you because it's like how you say keep showing up. Like it's not a catchphrase for you. You live it. Like keep showing up, and you keep showing up, and you keep getting better and better and better. So like, how do you stay motivated? How do you keep improving? How do you keep showing up when it seems like each time you show up, you're the best? How do you how are you better than your best?
Well, I think is being a student of the sport was something that I had to learn. I think it's 2019 when I got my pro card, and I tried to go to my to the Olympia. That was like COVID year. And I missed it by 1 point in 2020. I missed the Olympia by 1 point. It was that time where you can qualify by winning shows, or you can qualify with points. But I remember when I was taking the feedback in 2019 and 2020, I was just taking the feedback, but not actually putting in the work. If the judges said come in tighter, I probably showed up exactly the same. In 2021, I decided something different, like actually listening to the judges. If they tell me to come in tighter, I ask questions, like, where do you want me to come in tighter? Is it my upper body? Is it my lower body? Now, I know it's hard to pick a specific body part to come in tighter, but I need more direction. So I just started asking more questions. Every time I got off stage, I would look at my pictures and ask myself, how can I improve? And I would be realistic with myself, compare myself to the top pro. Okay, what I didn't have that the top pro had, what can I improve to become that top pro? So it was just like constantly wanting to be better and better, even if it was just like, you know what, I don't like my hair in that style, next show we're gonna try something different, like something simple. 2023, starting of my season for 2023 or 2024, 2023, I spent
some time.
I pause. in 2023 for January to February, because there was like a talk about shoes. Shoe Fairy was really big at that time. There was different platform. For the first 2 months of my season, getting ready for the season, I purchased tons of shoes. And I send checking in them, check to see which one like complement my physique, like which one looked really good on me. And then the one that I thought looked really good between me and my coach was like, okay, we're going to stick to that. So even things like that I was like, okay, how can I improve to the next level? Because sometimes, like right now, the judges are like, no more muscles, you look good, just come in a little bit tighter. But even for myself, I still look back at the picture and say, I can improve on just small little areas. So always wanting to improve yourself, even if you have a perfect score at a show.
Yeah.
Vanya, was it tough to stay, because I was listening to another podcast, was it tough to stay maybe motivated, where I know 1 year you were getting the feedback that your glutes were too big and then you scaled down, but then you said another year, another show, the judges were like, you got to build them up?
Yes. I don't think it was my glute, it was my quads.
Okay, quads. Okay.
I think it was my quads. So there was 1 year where it was like too much quads. And I had to do my back pose a certain way where my toes is pointing straight forward in the back pose. And then in Nashville Fit Show, when I won Nashville Fit Show, the feedback was, okay, your quads are enough, your physique is balanced. Now you need a little bit more glutes and turn your toes out. So it was a little bit different, because I even remember the show that I did after Nashville Fit Show, I was struggling with my back pose because I've been doing my back pose a certain way for so long. And then now all of a sudden I had to change it because I had enough. My balance was much better and my glutes was getting better. So it was a little bit hard, but I was determined to get it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Oh, okay. So since we touched on posing, knowing that posing is a central part of presentation in this sport, how often do you practice, and what does your posing routine look like in season and off season?
So my posing practice looked the same in season, off season. Right now, not so much, because I'm a little bit injured and I'm trying to get better, which I'm very frustrated with. But if it wasn't for that, I'll be posing every week. I pose daily between my sets, and I tell all of my clients that, you finish a shoulder press, hit the front pose. Your shoulders pump, hit that front pose. You do hip thrust or kick back, hit that back pose, or transition to your back pose. So I pose every day. On Saturday or Sunday, I put my heels on and I pose for 30 minutes. So that time I'm recording myself. I'm being very critical about the things I like, the things I don't like. I might take 100 pictures in like 5 different videos, and I don't like any of them because I'm not satisfied. And then the next day I do it again and I'll look at the pictures and compare it and like, okay, this is getting better. But it's like that every weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Vanya, 2021, so 2 questions. 2021, you competed 11 times.
Yes.
What were you thinking, and how did you keep yourself mentally sane and motivated to kind of stay in prep and stay contest ready?
2021, I was determined to get on the Olympia stage. After missing it in 2020 by 1 point, that was my first time going to watch the Olympia. It was in Orlando in December. Everybody got sick after that because it was still COVID. I got super sick. But when I went to watch the Olympia, I remember telling myself, I'm going to be on that stage next year. And next year came around and I did everything that I could to get on that stage. The only thing that kept me sane was my family and my students. My student really, I was a teacher at that time, and they really enjoy hearing how I did at each show, like how much point. They were like very invested in like the point system. They couldn't wait to see like if I'm going to make it. I mean, they were little coaches that I had with me. I couldn't have a piece of candy. If they knew I was competing, there was no snacking in class at all. Yeah, they kept me sane. There were times where I had to take, when I did those 11 shows, I think I took a 2-month break, and then I was at it. I was competing every 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was tough. It was tough. There were a couple of shows maybe I should have skipped, but I was so in it that I just kept going.
Yeah, that's laser focus right there. Yeah. So with bodybuilding being a sport of extremes, with the ups and downs and everything in between, how do you stay grounded and remain confidently humble through it all?
I stay grounded because I always remember where I'm from, where I started, my why. Especially when I go back home to New York. Home is New York, Brooklyn, but home is really Haiti. We didn't have anything. I came from a third world country, and even though I was living in a third world country, I had it pretty good. But in comparison to America, it was completely different. So always knowing that where I came from and where I'm at, I need to stay humble and grateful, because there's a lot of people that don't have that opportunity. This is like a privilege to do something what I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Vanya, what's the biggest lifestyle change that you've seen or made throughout your career thus far? Because I know being Haitian, and I've obviously almost in the same boat. There's spices, there's good meals, there's hearty meals. I'm sure that was hard, but what are maybe some of the bigger changes you've had to adjust or adapt to?
It was definitely the food. Oh my God. Like the food was so, even when I started bodybuilding, or when I started just working out, really getting into it, I would go home and have like all my Haitian food, like all the extra carbs, all the extra spice. And learning more about bodybuilding, I realized I really had to change the way I was eating. So that was tough. Even when I go back home, whether I'm off season or on season, I've been eating clean for the past 8 years consistently. So going home, my family, they love to feed you. That's how they show love. So when I go home and they give me food. If I'm off season, I will eat it. But during prep, it is very tough. And I have to say no. And to them, saying no is being disrespectful. So you have to teach them, okay, like it's not part of my diet. Now they understand that, but before it was a struggle.
What? I'm sorry.
How long did that take for them to finally say, okay, she's not going to eat we put in front of her? Like, when did they finally accept it?
I would say 4 years ago.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah. My first Olympia, I think that they were like, okay, she's been doing this for a while. I think she's going to keep going. Yeah.
What's one Haitian dish and a Haitian dessert that you like really miss that you haven't had, in the longest forever?
Well, I had some Haitian food because my sister's here and she loves to cook Haitian food. So whenever she has a chance, she would cook food for me. White rice, black beans, and legume. So legume is like a vegetable. It's just a vegetable mix. It's like spinach. You can add carrots. You can add kale in it, and then you add your meat. So we'll have crab, beef, and then you eat that. That's my favorite dish. And then my favorite dessert is it's called pain patat, and it's pretty much, how can I explain it? Like a muffin. It's like a muffin, but it's a lot better than a muffin. And you can add rum to it. So yeah, I miss that.
Yeah,
I'm going to flip that question to you for a minute. What do you miss? Because I know we've kind of talked about some of your lineage and your background.
So when I started bodybuilding, pork was removed from my diet, and I have not had pork since. And one of my favorite dishes, it's Filipino and it's called sinigang, and it's like a sour soup. And the most common way to make it is with pork. And it's so good. So like I still eat it and I'll make it, but I'll make it with like I'll either put chicken in it. Sometimes I'll put beef, like short ribs in it, or big shrimp. But with the pork, like the sourness
tastes different.
Yes, and then the pork, like it tastes so good with pork. And actually, Filipinos eat a lot of pork dishes. So I will say that there are some pork dishes that I miss, like lechon kwali, which is fried pork belly.
Yep, Haitian.
Yes. So like I will say that like occasionally I miss pork, but it Filipino style pork.
Yeah.
Vanya, you've been competing roughly 10 years now.
Yes.
What's, aside from the point system, like what's changed? What have you seen change over the 10 years?
I think we're not chasing shows anymore. And I think that's why in 2021, when I did 11 shows, I was chasing points and I was chasing show. Versus now, I think the girls are more strategic with their show. You know, they know that when you go to the show, it's not about point system. You have to go in with your best physique to win, to qualify for the Olympia. So that has changed. Whereas before, there was a point I knew that I wasn't my best, but I still step on stage, knowing that maybe if I get top 5, I'll get 2 points or I'll get a point.
Yeah.
So do you enjoy that better, the non-point system?
There you go. Yeah, they don't chase the shows or the points anymore. I think they comes in, everybody, when they come to a show, they look really good. Like everybody look ready to win a show. Not like, you know, maybe top 4, maybe top 3. No, it's the competition is definitely a lot harder now.
So it's almost like going back to like when you were competing for your pro card, because the pro card is only awarded to top 2 if it's the open or if your master's first place. So it's like, being intentional about the shows that you pick and being strategic with your preps.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Because when in 2021, I really wasn't strategic. It was like, oh, there's a show in 2 weeks, let's do it. There's another one in 2 weeks, let's do it. You know? And of course I took a break, but now thinking about it now, I would not do that. I would not suggest anyone to just do 11 show because it's 2 weeks apart. You have to be strategic with your show.
So then, is it okay for me to ask? So in 1 year, you competed in 11 shows as a pro, right? Okay, and I know that as a pro, you don't pay an entry fee, but like makeup, hair, tanning, like that had to be a super expensive year. Did you have any sponsors at that time, or was it like
I had All That Glitter was my sponsor. I did have Angel Competition at first, and then Toxic. I did have when I won my pro card, I had a local suit sponsor. So I had something like that covered, like my suit was covered, not my tanning. My jewelry was covered. I think that's about it. Everything else I had to pay out of my pocket. And thank God I had a stable job. And then of course I was doing my posing on the side.
Yeah. Because that's
Yeah, I mean, there were the show that actually got me into top 5, and that show was the show that kept me in top 5. It was like the starting of my career, honestly. It was in California, so flying from Tennessee to California, those flights are always expensive. I was broke, but I said, you know what, God, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do this show. I don't know how. When I come back, we'll handle the bills or something like that. And as I'm waiting, pre-judging, I had like randomly like 4 clients buy like 3 packages of posing. I was like, this was a sign. And I placed second to Ashley K. And ever since then, I've been in the top 5.
That's awesome. So in the early years of competing and doing those 11 shows in 1 year and everything, was there anything that you did DIY? You know, like you did your own tan, your own makeup, own hair, just to like save on some of the money?
I did my own makeup one time.
Okay.
And a friend helped me. I did my hair a lot. Back then, I think you see like most of my picture, I had straight hair. So that was the only thing I could do. And then the curls, sometimes I was okay with the curls, but there were times they look horrible. And I will always have like, one time I wanted to curl my hair. And so for some reason, the right was correct, but the left one looked horrible. And the lady that was doing my makeup, she just offered to do my hair for free. So there were like moments like that I was like grateful for. But most of the time I did my hair, it was straight. If I did my hair, it was just straight. And I put on a wig, so it was a lot easier. I didn't have to worry.
So then for show days, like, is there anything for you that's non-negotiable? Like my tan, makeup, hair, whatever, where it's just like, it has to be professional, or is it just kind of like whatever?
My makeup.
Yeah.
My makeup has doing so many shows, my makeup has to be on point. Like I don't play with my makeup at all.
Yeah. So Vanya
Yeah.
said, I'm not gonna DIY this. makeup.
No. No. If I have to wake up at 2 a.m. for them to do my makeup, I'll wake up at 2 a.m. Yeah.
I hear you. Then you're gonna be sleeping like, oh,
and I'm like,
Friday.
Absolutely.
Wasn't there a story, and I don't know if it was you or you were referring to somebody else, where it was the eyeshadow matching the suit? Was that you or somebody else? Or was that a trend with mascara?
There was that. And then one time someone did my makeup where my eyeshadow was matching my suit, and I was very upset. Very upset. Yeah. And I made sure that I don't use them anymore. That's okay.
I heard
lesson learned. Yeah.
I know you looked in the mirror and was like, I could have did this myself.
Yes. You are extreme, because it's like once they do it, they don't really have the time to fix it, because they have girls behind you. I have to, so it's like they have to redo. They're not going to redo it. And if you're trying to fix it yourself, you're going to mess it up. So I ended up going on stage like that, but I was not happy with my makeup. I was actually very upset.
Yeah, that makeup, it'll make you or break you.
Yes. Yes. Like the confident, like as much as you want to be confident on stage, you're going to be thinking about your makeup.
Yeah. Everything matters. All the details.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one time it's good to be a male in the industry, where it's a bathing suit.
Right?
And it's
well, some men wear makeup now.
They do.
You'd be surprised. Yes. They wear makeup now.
So Vanya, if you don't mind, talk to us a little bit about, obviously, your mental health and what you're doing in the gym. But what do you do for your body outside the gym? Do you do ice therapy? Do you do cryotherapy, massage, deep tissue? What do you do outside of the gym to keep yourself kind of fresh?
So I meditate a lot. Devotion in the morning. I listen to gospel. There was a time when I started bodybuilding. I used to watch Netflix or just listen to music, but now I am strictly listening to gospel. That's the only way that I can get through my cardio. Like I have the best cardio listening to gospel. So those are like the things that I do, like non-negotiable for me in the morning. I get a massage done every week or every other week. Yes. And then I go to my chiropractor. I also been to the cryo chamber. Sometimes I'm not a fan of that. I don't like cold.
I love it.
I do not like it. And every Friday or Saturday, I take a salt bath.
Oh, interesting.
That's a must. Yes.
Is that to remove the toxins and whatnot, or is there something behind that?
Yes, it just helped me with inflammation. I feel a lot better after that. Yeah, and tighter.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Kathy.
Oh, I'm just soaking it all in, because self-care can be neglected in this sport, and you have to be on top of it in order for your body to just recover and repair and grow, and it's just a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, and I know I said get my massage every week, and not everybody can afford that, but if you can do it at least once a month and go to a chiropractor once a month, it's so worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, chiropractor definitely. I try to go every 3 weeks.
It's good.
Yeah.
Dry needling we have a hate relationship, but it works. It works really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've never tried dry needling. I do like cupping though.
Mm-hmm. So.
When you started competing, or I guess you started getting into the industry, was the goal to get your pro card, or was it just kind of a hobby and just kind of get yourself better? Like what was the impetus to get you competing, and what was the big goal?
So my very first competition, the goal was actually to prove to my ex-boyfriend that I can do it without him. So we broke up right when I started prep, and it was just like something that fueled me to go through my prep. And I did my first show. I fell in love with it. I started learning more about, the different type of show that they have, national qualifier, pro qualifier, and then so on. It went from, okay, I want to be nationally qualified to becoming a pro. And then once I turned pro, it was like, okay, what can we do next? And it was to become an Olympian.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is the goal to be Miss Bikini Olympia? Is that the end goal?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
God's blessing.
you are on your way with God's blessings.
Amen.
You are on your way. Like my auntie always reminds me that like I'm destined for greatness. And then I speak that into my son, and now I'm speaking that into you. Like you're just destined for greatness. Like you've already
you.
like reached the top, but you just gonna keep going even further than that, you know?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to have people like that in your circle, because like, I know that I could do it, but having other people like you, my friends, family, that's like motivating and reminding you, especially when that self-doubt start creeping in, and you have friends that's like, you're built for greatness. Like, that's why I always appreciate the text message that I get from, it'll be random text messages, but it's like, she will send me a message where I'm like, I was on the couch and feeling super tired. I'm like, you know what? I'll get the text. I'm like, let me go do my cardio. It's so motivating.
Yeah, it is. Yep. And then it's just, you never really know like who you're inspiring, when you're just focused, locked in, doing your own thing. And then, like when you just get that random text, or even when you're out in the store, and someone says, oh, you look great. You're just minding your business, doing your own thing. And then it's just like, God sends us those reminders and affirmations. And then it's just like, wow, like,
yes.
Yeah, I needed that.
Yes.
Yep. So, when you don't get like the random text messages or friendly reminders or anything, like what do you tell yourself to stay encouraged, to stay motivated in this sport?
It's what I'm doing at the moment. So every show that I've done, there is like a why behind it, or who I'm doing it for.
Mm-hmm.
This prep was dedicated to my best friend Sierra and my sister, because last year both of them were going to like a rough time, and then seeing them this year at the just doing good in their career, doing good with like self-love, their relationship, just gave me like this motivation that, you know what, I just want to show them that it can be done. I mean, they always around me also, but that show was dedicated for them. The year before, I dedicated to my other best friend. Her mom had died 2 weeks before a show that I was doing. And that really, and the funeral was on the same day of that show, so it was just like a conflict. Okay, do I go and support her, or do I go to do the show that I've been prepping for the past 3 months? And we had a conversation, and she pretty much said, go win for my mom. So those moments when I was super tired and I was exhausted, I was like, I can't, I don't have the room for it, because I'm doing it for somebody else. It's bigger than me.
Yeah. So you stay grounded in your why.
Yes.
Yep.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Did you win that show?
I did. Yes. I won that show, and I cry. Yes. Always crying.
Vanya, what's the one thing that people that are thinking about competing maybe overlook or don't understand? What's what I'm looking for? That they wish more people understood when it came to competing. Maybe what's something that, I mean, we see a lot of on Instagram and social media and in videos, but maybe what's something they don't expect or understand, like behind the scenes, maybe.
There's a term, pay your dues, I guess. Being in the industry, pay your dues. A lot of people, especially our friends and family, when they see you, they like, you're going to win the show. They 100% believe that you're going to win the show. And explain to them, it's not that easy. Like, I know that I have a great physique. I know that I have the potential, but there was also tons of other girls that have the same beautiful physique that work just as hard as me. And when we get to that, to the show in comparison, it's really in front of the judges. There's nothing that we can do. Like, anything that we can do is just, what we can do is control what we can control. Once we get to the judges, it's up to them. Right. And sometimes you're lucky where you start your season and right away you get national qualified, you get pro, and then you go to the Olympia. But other time, you kind of have to pay your dues. You have to be in front of the judges. You have to show them that you want this. You are serious about this. It's not one show and done. And so many athletes has done that. They've got their pro card and then they don't compete at all. or they got an Olympia qualification and they did one Olympia and that's it, you know? So it takes time for the judges to know you, get to know you as an athlete, knowing that you actually doing the work, like when they give you feedback. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. They just see a body on stage and they think, oh, they're comparing you with this person. Clearly you look better, you know? But it's a lot more than that.
Was there someone that you admired that maybe you were trying to model your physique after, or was there someone specific that you took affinity to?
Yeah, Angelica. Angelica,
Okay.
Queen Angelica. I can't really say her last name, but I don't want to mispronounce it. Yeah, Angelica, when she won the Olympia in 2017, it gave me hope because when I studied bodybuilding, I was in between bikini and wellness, and there was no wellness at that time. So there was literally no division for me because my legs were too big for bikini, but then I didn't have enough upper body for figure. So there was really no division for me. But I was still too muscular for bikini. So a lot of people was telling me, go to figure, go to figure. I kind of play with that idea, but I fought for bikini. You know, I transformed my body for bikini. I brought my legs down for bikini. And when Angelica won, it gave me hope because she was muscular. She had that full hourglass.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
you know, she was curvy. She was not too tall, not too short. When she won, it was just like, oh, if she can do it, I can do it too. Like I saw my physique through her because of how muscular she was in comparison to the winner before that or the other winner.
Okay. Was it hard to reset your training style? Because obviously you had to probably change to compensate for big legs and everything else and take a left turn.
It was very hard because when I started bodybuilding, I was lifting. I mean, I was watching Kai Greene video.
Yeah.
I was watching I was doing a 2-hour leg workout following by abs. So I definitely, and plus I know that genetically I have muscle, you know, like my dad was a soccer coach. My mom was a dancer. So we just like have big calves. I haven't worked calves in a long time. So I knew that, but after seeing the division and how like my physique wasn't fitting in the criteria, I had to change my workout a lot. Like I wasn't doing leg press anymore. There was a year where I was barely training legs. It was just mainly focusing on glute. That was really hard.
Yeah, that sounds tough.
It was hard. And I was doing a lot of cardio to bring my quads down because there was no information on how to bring it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead, Kathy. I know things are still going through your mind. Go ahead, Kathy.
Ooh.
So while she's thinking, Vanya, have you checked out our girl Kathy here? Have you seen any of her recent shots?
Oh yes.
I'm gonna put Kathy on the spot here.
I've seen the progress. Yes.
She's doing she's gonna do some damage this year. A lot of improvements.
I've seen the progress. I've seen it. Yes.
I hope so. I'm trying to be thick in the glutes like Vanya.
A glute.
Yeah. I'm just, there's room for improvement, but thank you guys for noticing.
But you're doing the work, and that's one thing. It's like I could have said no, forget it. And I've seen so many athletes also that the judges will give them feedback and they still show up with the same physique and expect to place higher. It doesn't work like that, especially when the judges do pay attention, So if they tell you more glutes, and you give more glutes. If it's going to take you 6 months or a year to give more glutes, then go and put in the work. Because if you come back with the smaller glutes, they're not going to reward you because they will remember that they said more glutes.
Yeah. So Miss Vanya, you being the triple threat that you are, pro athlete and prep coach, how do you balance the three?
For prep coach, I try not to have too many clients. I think I have 25 clients now, and that is it. I am not taking any more clients, but I'm also teaching my clients. I have 2 coaches that they are my clients, but they're also 2 coaches on the team now. So I teach them the work, how to do it. I don't want to keep all this knowledge to myself. Like, there's no point of me keeping the knowledge to myself. I want them all to succeed. So one of them, I plan on making her the posing coach for the team. So that way, everybody on the team has a job that complete us together. It's not just me doing all the work. Yeah.
And that's awesome that you do that, because there are so many coaches in this industry that hoard their knowledge, and they don't like to share what they've learned because they're afraid that it's going to take them down. But if you're that good and you share your knowledge, they're not going to leave you, like, because they're,
and you're going to learn more, and you're going to learn more. Yeah.
And in this sport, you have to be open to learning more because it's always evolving, just like the league. They just added the fit model division. Speaking of, how do you feel about that?
Go ahead. Break it down, girl.
I think it's a great idea to have fit model like as like the entry level. I don't know how I feel about it as in being in the Olympia. You know, I think it's gonna be a long show, although it's not that long of a show, but it's definitely gonna be a long show for all NPC and IFBB Pro shows. I just think bikini should be like, after you get your pro card for fit model, I think after that the next step should be to turn to bikini, switch division to, because you have enough muscle at that point where you can go into a bikini division and stand next to the top pros. Yeah, that's what I think.
Because you can only hold I would think, I'm not a coach, but I would like to think that you can only hold a fit model physique for so long.
Right. Because eventually even if you're working out with 5 pounds, you're going to put on some tissue muscle. Yeah. Right. So over the years, as you working out with 5 pounds, you're going to get bigger. You're going to get bigger to a point where is fit model going to get bigger? Yeah. Or will you have to move up the division?
Yeah. Because it's the same as like bikini. So it's like bikini was fit model, but because it's evolved, because if you look at bikini athletes now, we look like figure athletes probably back in like the early 90s.
Yes.
Because, now like our shoulders have a cap. Our abs or our midsection is a little more chiseled, and, for quads and glutes and everything. So if you look at us now, we look like figure competitors back in the earlier days. So I feel you on that, as far as like, you can't put a cap on fit model because eventually they're going to grow, and what's next?
Yeah. I mean, I think fit model going to grow, bikini going to grow. That's how the sport works, just like, I have a couple of.
That's a good question though.
I had a couple of friends that would figure, maybe like they did figure in 2015, 2013, came back, but they couldn't do figure anymore because figure got so big. So they dropped down to bikini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of figure girls are crossing over to wellness.
Yes.
I'm noticing. Yeah. Yeah.
But I do think like it's a great idea. Like for someone that just started working out, they just been in the gym for 6 months. They want to compete next year. Fit model is perfect, because even now at local show, some of the bikini girls, they look pretty jacked.
Yeah.
So Vanya, I have a very interesting question when it comes to competing. Okay. Obviously it's a sport. What is the right, if you were to put a number, what do you think is the right amount that someone should compete per year? Because I'm slanted more towards the male side. And I see the males, they do a show, let's say in March, they get qualified and they go ahead and wait till the Olympia. Okay. This is a sport. How do you get better, whether it's diet, training, obviously you're posing and whatnot? Does that make sense? I mean, would you think there's a certain amount that someone should compete per year?
Yes. I think you should compete at least 2 to 3 times per year.
Okay.
If you time it correctly, you should. If you start your season early, you should be able to do one March and then do one like maybe a month later, and then the Olympia. Give yourself a break and then the Olympia. I think 2 to 3 times a year. Now, I know sometimes people don't compete. They compete that they do the Olympia. Let's say our Miss Olympia. They do Olympia and they don't compete all the way to Olympia.
Exactly.
I understand that because, like one, they want to protect the title. They don't want to do like a random show and get second, which they might not, but you never know, because again, there's so much that we can control. And then you get on stage, our body can change within 12 hours, within 24 hours. It's like so much that we cannot control. So I can understand them holding the title, but I would like to see like Miss Olympia compete more because I think it brings more hype to the sport because it's like you are the queen, you are the king of the sport. So seeing you doing it again and proving it that you can do this over and over definitely brings up a different energy to the sport. So I wish like our top Olympian, and some of them do, some of them don't. I just wish most of them will compete twice a year.
Yeah.
And that's fair because, I mean, let's be honest. You can be in a posing room an hour a day. You can practice your walk and your posing. But again, there's nothing that prepares you for being on stage in front of, 100,000, not 100, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people. It's a different atmosphere.
Yeah, it is. It's different. And your body's going to peak different too. As much as we want our body to peak the same way, which most of the time you can control it. But again, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I have a question I'd like to piggyback off you, Sean, if that's okay.
Sure.
So then, Vanya, my question to you is as far as like pros that are competing for the Olympia, because all you have to do is, well, I mean, if you win a pro show, then that qualifies you for the Olympia, right?
Correct.
So do you think, or not think, feel that like when they qualify for the Olympia, should they be done, or is it okay for them to keep competing and keep winning? Because then if it's someone that's competitive, but then let's say, okay, they earned their spot for the Olympia and then they compete another 2 to 3 times and they take those first place wins, do you kind of feel like it takes opportunities from those that are still competing? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think like if you win a show and it qualify you for the Olympia, I think you can do another 1 or 2 more shows. Because at this point, with you and your coach, you're trying to figure out what peak week protocol is working, what technique, what method is working. And then once you have it down, you shut it down and get ready for the Olympia.
Gotcha.
That's what I think. But like competing throughout the year, it's a lot on the body. It's a lot mentally on the body, and again, you taking other people's spot. I think so,
Yeah. So then next question is for the competitive athlete like that is competing 2 to 3 times a year, or maybe even more competitive, like 5 to 6. What do you think athletes should do to like support their hormonal health? Because when you're constantly in prep and peaking and everything, that affects the hormones of that athlete.
I mean, it's up to the athlete because you can tell them, maybe you should stop, maybe you can take a break. But if they don't want to take a break, they're not gonna.
Yeah.
So Kathy, almost what you were saying earlier, years ago on the male side, that if somebody was already qualified, the second place winner would get that win and get the nomination.
I heard about that.
They did away with that too, but that was another thing to keep people from kind of stealing the first place wins or the qualifications.
Yeah, but they don't do that now, do they?
No, they don't.
Do you guys think they should bring that back?
So the male side, okay, and I don't mean to say it, but I actually enjoy it because, like Derek Lunsford won the Arnold. He is competing 2 more times. He's competing at the Pittsburgh show. He's probably going to win, stealing a qualification from 2 other people. Those 2 other people now are forced to compete again, which I know from the diet side, it's not the healthiest, but from the fan side, instead of seeing Nick Walker once this year and maybe at the Olympia, we might see him 2, 3, 4 times this year. So from the selfishness, I'm like, I like it because I get to see my favorite pro competing a few more times.
Yeah, I get it. Money too. Yeah.
Yes. And from the hormones and the diet and the stress it puts, it's that fine balance.
Yeah.
I think
strokes for different folks.
For me, I just want the judges to be fair.
Yeah.
Fair. So it doesn't matter who shows up. if person A look better than person B, then person A need to win.
Gotcha.
Even if person B was that competitive athlete, they won 5 shows before, if they off that day, then it needs to be judged fair.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it should be. And I think, anyone that stand next to a competitive, like a top pro, that's good for you, because now you get to see like what you need to work on. You're like, okay, I'm standing next to Vanya. Let me compare myself to Vanya. Like, what do I need to work on to next time when I see Vanya, they're like, oh, this is close. Who's gonna get first place? So I think as long as the judges are fair, for me, that's what I would like to see all the time.
Vanya, I feel that the women's divisions, the whole women's side, is growing, which is nice. But what do we need to do? Again, I'm not a female, but I'm in support 110% for all you lovely ladies. What do we need to do to continue to get it grow? The prize money, just getting it out there, because again, you guys still need that additional love. Like, what do you think we need to do?
Well, fit model is one, because we're getting more people. I've heard that at shows now there's more fit model than bikini. So I know with fit model, we will get more girls to come and join the show, because they're not as intimidated as the bikini. Because when they look at bikini, they don't look at another amateur. They look they look at Caddy. They look at me. They're like, oh, I need to look this big, not knowing that we've been doing this for a long time. Right. So fit models definitely will improve. We'll get more girls to join the sport. I think the sponsors need to give us a chance, like promote us just like they promote the male sponsors.
Yeah.
And I understand the male, we in the sport because of bodybuilders, because of the male, but we still bring great physique. We still bring great atmosphere. We still bring fun to the show, So I think the sponsors.
Yeah, and I think we're in a good spot right now for males and females. I think there's a huge, like during the teens, I think bodybuilding was almost kind of level, but I think now as we entered the 20s, I think we're on a huge dip now again with prize money and sponsorships and everything else, and it's still going to keep going up, and I can't wait to see it's evolving. It's still evolving, and I love to see it.
Yes. And I understand, like, a lot of people even when I started bodybuilding, I wanted to see the big guy. I'm like, geez, like they are big. And you can look at the muscle and touch the muscle. But it's different. Like the ladies bring the same thing that the guys are bringing on the table. So, yeah.
Vanya, were you hoping that Kai Greene was going to do the Masters? I don't know if you were following that little banter.
I was hoping. I was like, I just want him to do a show while I'm on stage. I just want my picture with him. I did get a picture with him, but backstage or on stage, something.
I met him in 2011. He's probably one of the nicest pros I've ever met. Like, just super, super nice and humble.
He is. I actually met him in Brooklyn at a diner. And it was like 2016. I just studied bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And I was with my friends, and I turned around and I was like, guys, I don't even understand what's going on. Whoa. And apparently that spot was his spot where like he would come and have like lunch after working out, so nobody really.
I can imagine he probably eats Vanya's weight in food every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so me, of course, I was like, oh my God, he had to ask him for a picture. And I asked him for a picture, and he was like, no, I really just want to enjoy my food. I'm like, okay. And I asked him for some advice, and he gave me some advice. And then I was like, okay, thank you for talking to me. And my friend that was in front of me kind of like took a picture. He was like right in the background. That's why I got the picture of him. So if you see this, Kai Greene, I got a picture of you.
That's too funny. Yep. He won't pass up a picture this time around, Miss Bikini International.
I want my picture.
Hey, Kai Greene, if you're watching this, Vanya wants her picture.
You need to give him the autograph, not the other way around.
One day.
So, Sean, let me flip this question on. Let me flip this. Who do you want your picture with in the bodybuilding industry? Like,
who, me?
Like, no, Sean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, wow. That's a good question. I mean, I really, really like Samson. I mean,
Yeah.
if I had to, I would say Samson. Yeah, he's probably one of the people that I like right now. For as big as he is, he's still aesthetic. You know,
Mhm.
I brought Nick Walker earlier. I'm not a huge fan, but he was just someone that came to mind. But I'd probably say Samson is one of my favorites right now on the circuit.
Yeah.
I have a picture with him.
All right. He just seems very real and like he doesn't sugarcoat anything. And he's
Yes.
like when he lost to Derek, he seemed genuine about
Mhm.
congratulating him. It wasn't just nice. He seemed very genuine in what he says and what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. He's very nice.
So, but Kathy, any other questions as we wind down here?
Ooh, let me see. What? Oh, okay. Vanya, for those who are looking to elevate their stage presence, what advice do you have as far as posing? And I know you said stage presence, like all the details, they matter as far as like even down to your shoes and things like that. But you being, the beautiful poser that you are, what posing tips would you like to share? And
Posing
shout out
tips.
to Vanya is a posing coach, so y'all hit her up on Instagram and book those sessions. She also has a booking link as well, which we need to attach somewhere.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're done.
I think you need to be realistic with yourself. You know, after your first show, whether it's your first show, your first pro show, your first Olympia show, look at your routine and really ask yourself, what do you need to work on? Right? It can be a simple thing as when I walk on stage, I need to have that confidence and work on that. You know, when I walk on stage, I need to nail my front pose and work on that. You know, pick something that you really need to work on and work on it. It's gonna take time, just like with bodybuilding, it takes time. If with growing muscle, it takes time. Posing is the same thing. Don't expect to do it and then within 6 months you have your own style, you have your own this. You're gonna see other people's style that you like, and you're gonna try to do it. You're gonna try to do different style, but there will be a day where you do your posing and everything going to click, like the movement that you're doing, the hair flip, the way you're looking at the audience. It's just gonna feel really natural. But you have to keep practicing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to step on stage to practice it also.
Yeah.
That's my tip. You know, just try different things. You know, don't try to do my routine because it's gonna be different, you know, but it could be something that you see in my routine that you're like, you know what, Vanya do the little step back, let me try it. And if it fit really well in your routine, keep it, like own it, like keep practicing it until one day like you are very comfortable with it. Go on stage, do it, see if you like it, and keep evolving your posing.
So Vanya, is the next time we'll be seeing you on the Olympia? Are you done competing till Olympia?
Yes. Next time will be till the Olympia. If it wasn't for my sciatica, I'll be on stage. I'll definitely be on stage at Pittsburgh or New York Pro, but I have to recover first.
Yeah.
Are there any changes you'll be making that we can look forward to, or you kind of bring the same package almost that you did to the Arnold?
Just a little changes. We want to be a little bit fuller, you know, and physique-wise, but my routine will be the same unless I decide to add something, but I don't want to add too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I do, it'll be a surprise.
Okay. So then since the plan is to step back on the stage for the Olympia, do you have any projects or anything that you're working on from now up until then? Are you doing any workshops or seminars or anything?
So there's a couple of projects. I am doing like group classes in my hometown. So I'm in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and I do group classes at least once a month if I have the time. It's always on Saturday from 11:30 to 12:30, and I post it on my story because when I usually post it on my page, people think it's a workshop, but it's not really a workshop. It's just a group class. I am going to do a workshop in June. I have to set the date and then I'll post it. So I don't want to say the date and it's not there, but I will have a big workshop. I'm thinking about doing a 2-day workshop or maybe a 1-day workshop. We'll see. I was invited to a Hawaii workshop in October, so I'm very excited about that. Oh. I'm so excited. It's October 21st. It's like 2 weeks after the Olympia. I'm excited about that. I have another workshop June 8th in Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm going to Boise, Idaho. I might be saying that wrong. Sorry,
Nope.
y'all.
Boise, you're right. You're right.
Next week for a workshop. So I have a couple of stuff lined up, and I will be at Pittsburgh just to be there and support the athlete. And I'm gonna be at Masters Nationals this year because I have a couple of girls competing. So I have a couple of traveling going on. Yeah.
Okay. You got a busy schedule. Not too busy, but enough to keep you active.
Yes, I have a busy schedule. So I'm trying to stay home as much as I can because I know come May, it's a lot of traveling. May and July. Yes.
So then when you're in prep, this is a random question, but like when you're in prep, do you ever hit a point, maybe like, I don't know, like halfway, 4 weeks out, 1 week out or whatever, where you just kind of like shut things down, like no outside noise, like you shut down social media, you limit your TV time or conversations or whatever, just to stay focused and locked in?
So when I'm in prep, posing wise, I usually shut that down 4 weeks before my show. So like if you're in my schedule, you're in my schedule. But if you're not, you have to wait until after the show. I go to sleep super early when I'm in prep, like 8:30, I'm in bed.
Wow.
I have to read a book. I'll read a book. And then if I wanted like for the Arnold, I was really into like tea. So I was drinking a lot of tea before going to sleep. I would read my book, drink my tea, and then go to sleep. But the year before that, I was into coffee. I would drink coffee and go to sleep. Like I'm that type of person. Yeah. So, but I go to sleep super early. Like everything I get up early, but I also go to sleep like 8 or 8:30. I'm in bed.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then when you're in prep, what does your training days look like? Like how many, I don't need to know your training split or anything like that, but like how many days?
I can tell you.
Oh, okay. Well, how many days a week do you train? How many rest days? Is it recovery rest days? Like, or, you know?
So the past 2 years is different because I've built the muscle enough where I don't have to train that much. Before I used to train 6 days a week and have 1 rest day. Now I have 2 rest day and I'm training 5 days a week. Being in improvement season, I'm training 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, they don't want any more shoulder, any more back. It's kind of boring, y'all. It's really boring, but I am listening. I'm trying to fill my time with other things that I want to do, like doing my gardening. I'm really into that. So I'm trying to stay busy at home. Yeah. So I'm not at the gym as much as I was before.
Okay. So what does a typical training day look like for you now? Upper body and lower body?
Probably like 4 exercises. So let's say I'm doing shoulder. Definitely get my shoulder press in, side lateral, front raise, upright row. I love upright row, although I know that upright row is the one that got me in trouble in 2023 Olympia because I was too shredded in my shoulder. Like the insertion here was so deep.
Yeah.
But I love doing upright row. So I'll pick 4 exercise, do 4 set, try to increase the weight, but not go too heavy. Like the heaviest I'll go on shoulder day. On a heavy day, 20 pounds. Okay. On a like light day, I stay with 10 pounds and just do a lot of reps.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then lower?
Lower. Oh, glutes. Glutes are always going to be hour to 2 hours. You know that.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God.
Glutes always take hours.
And you know what takes me out? Hip thrust. I know hip thrust, they do what they're supposed to do, but I'm like, oh, I don't care if it's 10-pound plates or if you load it with 4 25-pound, like it's just.
I love hip thrust. That's probably one of my favorite exercises. I love hip thrust. I don't like Bulgarian split squat. That one. Nope. Yeah. And I actually did not do any of it in my prep. So I was very excited about that. I changed it up. But my go-to is definitely hip thrust. I love to do sumo squat on a Smith machine with like a stepper, like elevated. Yeah. Good Mornings has been one of my favorite. Before I wasn't a fan of Good Morning. I think because I wasn't really connecting with the muscle, but now I can really feel where my muscle is working. Okay. Kickback I like kickbacks and any abductor machine are my go-to for glutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Are you a
tell.
high cardio person, or do you kind of are you kind of limiting on the cardio?
I love to do cardio every morning. So I love to do my fasted cardio every morning, whether I'm in prep or off season. That's like the way I like to start my day. Unless it's a Sunday and I'm being super lazy, then I won't do any cardio. But even if it's like 20 minutes on the treadmill.
What kind of cardio do you like to do? Running, walking, treadmill, elliptical, stair climber?
So in prep, I love running in the morning.
Okay.
And then in the afternoon, Stairmasters.
Mm-hmm.
Off season, I like walking or just walking the dogs in the morning. And then again, if I do it in the afternoon, it's gonna be the Stairmaster. I don't want to see the treadmill. I hate the treadmill.
Yeah,
I think it's if I'm not running on it, I don't want to walk on it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll walk, but running,
I love running.
I can't.
I love running. I
Yeah.
love it. Sometimes I have to pull myself back again, like when I'm listening to gospel and I'm in it.
Mhm.
I can run for 3 miles.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And I have to remind myself, okay, you don't need to run, especially when you're like in that lean phase where I don't need to get leaner. I have to remind myself to pull back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Vanya, as we wind down here, this is the part of the show where you get 3 random questions where it's kind of like they're fun, but people learn a little bit more about you. And again, this is not in the list that we sent you. So I'm going to ask you 2, and then Kathy's going to ask you 1 here.
Okay.
What is the last song you sang out loud to in your car?
Swagger Like Us by T.I., something like that. I posted on my page.
Okay.
Is that the name of it? I think so. I'm checking my phone. But that was the last song. The song that's on my page right now with the video I just posted, that's what I was listening to.
Okay. Kathy, you had a good one.
Yes. Okay. Would you rather eat cold tilapia or dry chicken? No seasoning, no condiments, just cold cod or dry chicken.
Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Cold tilapia, any day.
I didn't say tilapia. I said cod.
Cod. Any days. Any days. Give me the fish. I love fish. Love fish. I love fish. I love fish.
I like fish too, but I can't do cod.
I will eat it cold.
No.
Not chicken.
No.
I will. If I have to eat chicken cold, I will. But if I have to pick between chicken and cod, give me the cod.
Oh.
Yeah. Now tilapia tastes better, but I'll take cod.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And last one here, Vanya. There's a knock on your door. What athlete or movie star is there to take you out, and where are they taking you?
Oh. What athlete or movie star? Sydney. Athlete Sydney. What's her last name? 8-time Miss Figure Olympia.
Oh, Sid Gillian.
Yeah. Sid Gillian. There you go. Gillian. I forgot her last name. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you guys going?
I don't know. Wherever she wants to. I'm going. Yeah. Let's go.
Have you seen Sydney, like her training, like since retiring?
Yes.
Her physique is just, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's at it. She's still at it.
Yeah,
she still looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks really good. In season, off season, she always looks good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if she comes to my door now and say, let's go on a walk, let's go. If she say, let's go to Hawaii, let's go.
Right?
Come on.
Oh my gosh. Well, Vanya, it's truly been a pleasure. We thank you so much. Plug your social media, any kind of sponsors, anything whatsoever. The floor is yours, please.
Thank you. So my social media is IFBB Pro _Fit Vania 1. You can also type Vania Auguste and find me. My coaching page is Team VIE Fitness. My posing page is _posing with V, and it's just the letter V. And I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Toxic Angel Bikinis, All That Glitter Gems, Liquid Sun Rays, these are my 3 top sponsors. So thank you for them for allowing me to do what I'm doing, for putting such a beautiful package on stage. My Glam, Amber P, Nancy, I love you guys. I mean, we don't play about Glam.
And Vanya, are we going for first? We going for third? What are we going for at the Olympia? What are we going for?
Here's the question coming. We going for first. God's blessing. Yes.
Love it. Love it. And Kathy, I know it's on the screen here, but what is your social media? And give props to anybody you want to here.
Social media, IG, which is at Kathy, CATHEYV .IFBB And I want to give a huge shout out to my husband and my son for being my biggest supporters.
Yes.
Shout out to my coach, Andre, because we ain't done yet. Shout out to Miss Vanya. I never got to give you your flowers publicly while we're in the same room. But thank you for helping me earn my pro card. I was telling Sean earlier today how, you were just very positive. You were there, through it all. So thank you, Vanya.
It was a pleasure to see you when she first came to me for posing. She, in her face, you can tell she did not enjoy posing. And then slowly just seeing her being happy about posing and excited to try new things. I love that. I love that for you.
Yeah, thank you, Vanya. And then Sean, thank you for, this opportunity. It's always a joy to be on your show. And thank you to all of the beautiful people that are watching this podcast. Yes. And once again, Vanya, thank you for your time. As busy as you are, being the triple threat that you are, thank you for allowing Sean and myself the time to just sit down and chat with you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to give a very random shout out here, Kathy, and I know you might not be happy of it, but I'm going to give a congratulations shout out to your son, Kenny, for getting accepted to college.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got to come on this side. There you go. I love it.
Thank you.
Congratulations to him.
Thank you. Yes. So all you guys out there who all you ladies that are wondering if you're too old to compete, you're never too old to compete. I got my pro card at 40 something with a teenage son, and now my baby's getting ready to go to college. So if I can do it, you can do it.
That's right. There you go.
And again, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, Kathy, thank you for co-hosting. Comment below. Let us know what you think. Should this be a random thing, Kathy and I? And of course, make sure you tune into that Olympia when Vanya's walking on stage and off stage, first place. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.